Hi everyone, it's Sunday, September 19th, time for another HideNet Week in Review. I'm Vera Dordick. It was yet another tough week for U.S. hide sellers, and that's especially with regard to steers. Interest may have improved, but bid prices were far too low for many deals to get done, and a lot of sellers went into the weekend continuing their back and forth on pricing. The top of our list this week is heavy Texas steers, which took a substantial hit. That said, it seems like the reported prices were just catching up with the rumors from the week before. Seasonal weights of 62-64 pounds sold for a high of $43, down $6 from the previous high. Other branded material also had some sizable declines, but other steers managed to limit the drop. The cow market was a little less dramatic, but it doesn't sound like sales were voluminous and prices eased just a little. Combined export sales for the week ending September 9th were up a little bit better by 17% at 476,700. Export shipments were a much healthier number at 641,800, which is 55% more than the previous week. If only they could stay at that kind of level, it would help sellers with clearing some of the big inventories they have. Slaughter for the week through Saturday, September 18th was 14% higher than last week, which was a holiday. But at 660,000, it was more than some people had expected. Turning to Europe, editor Andrea Guolo reports that the market was a bit confusing last week. Tanneries are bearish because of automotive production, but slaughter is still limited and good selections are hard to find, so things are a bit out of sync there. With Lineapel happening this week, we'll see what happens, and we'll definitely have news next week on what the price situation will be. In the UK, prices have been trending downward, but slaughter is stable and low, so the British 36 Plus is selling for £1.30 in sterling, and in Ireland, the price is also unchanged at €1.40 per kilo. Again, everyone is waiting for the results from Lineapel. With regard to bulls, the main selections dropped 5 cents, with southern German selections selling at €1.85 per kilo. That said, not all origins were headed downward. In the European cow markets, prices did indeed soften, while for veal, prices were confirmed because of the unchanged situation for those skins. Turning to South America, editor Ronald Guiel reports that the average price of fresh hides was stable this week after last week's slight slip. The average price was unchanged at $4.18, and TR1 is also steady at $1.15 to $1.20 per square foot. Most of Latin America had steady prices for their raw material, but there were changes in the Argentine market, so you'll want to check that out. In other news from Brazil, footwear exports have already hit 75.2 million pairs this year. In August, exports were 9.3 million pairs, and that's up 28% in volume and almost 35% in revenue, and that's compared to 2020. From January to August, the increases are 33% in volume and almost 24% in revenue. Looking at just 2019, the drop is only 0.2% in pairs, while in revenue it's a more significant negative 16.7%, and that's mainly due to the variations in the exchange rate for that period. In other news from Brazil, more countries are joining China's ban on Brazilian beef over mad cow. And from elsewhere in Latin America, the Curtum CBR saga continues in Argentina. Colombia's Velez has launched a new active line. And in Mexico, the CICG is concerned about growing footwear imports. And that's all we have for this week. So until next week, good night from HideNet.